Wadau na machampes, hope mko fiti. Of course, it's Josiah in the building. Nimeseti kamera yangu fiti hapo hivyo and I'm ready to pour wisdom into you. And I want to do the introductory episode of the history footprints. So nilikaa chini hivi nikafikiria. I took my time and I was studying one of my mentors in YouTube or maybe content creation space. Anaitwa Abel Mutua. And I was looking at his episodes vile amezi program and I realized that anapiga show inaitwa Young and Stupid. Unacheki? Anapiga Young and Stupid, akona more than 10 seasons with 12 episodes each. Unacheki? At the same time akona Dire Stories. At the same time akona Headline Hitters. Na at the same time akona Celebrity First Encounters. Na at the same time pia akona Mkurugenzi Minisodes na Dire Stories. So in as much as nimekuwa nikipiga hizi ma story, nimekuja kurealize that I have to program them such a way that in this episode we only talk about these things. For example, in the history footprints, we have to talk about the footprints that these leaders who were there back then waliacha kwa society yetu. Unacheki? So for example, mse kama Barack Obama. Barack Obama is literally a Kenyan, lakini alienda USA kukuwa president. So my work as Josiah is to sit down, do my research, and bring the stories to you. For example, mse kama Bob Marley. I'm curious to know, mse alizaliwa lini? Na ndio achieve your dream yake ya music. Alihave kufanya nini? Na footprints zake kwa life zilikuwa gani? Alikuwa na wife, alikuwa na watoi, and etc. Sijui kama unanifeel. So literally episode 1 season 1 ya the history footprints itakuwa about Coca-Cola and I'll be shooting the video soon. But the history footprints is all about things that happened in the past, things that were done by somebody, a legend, a hero or a heroine. Unacheki? So the history footprints will be bringing all these stories to life. For example, mse kama Jeff Koinange. We really want to know umse alizaliwa lini, umse make it kwa industry fiti sana, ni vitu gani amefanya. Unacheki? Ndio afike mahali amefika, kuna vitu zenye amepitia kwa life. So my work is to sit down with a biro and my online and my data, nipige research yangu, then tell the story, because that's a history footprint. Because in our generation right now in the 21st century, we need to learn from these heroes. I don't know whether you feel me. For example, we all know somebody by the name Tupac. I'm curious to know who is Tupac. Unacheki? Cause nimeona wase wengi wamevaa majezi zimeandikwa Tupac. Wengine wako na matoja. I'm curious to know who is Tupac. What did he do? Like, who was he? Unacheki? Because I believe many people, we live in a generation where research is being taken for granted. Hakuna mse ukaa chini hivi apige story yake safi ama apige research yake safi to learn about these things. So I can take that opportunity for me to sit down, do the research, and bring the stories to you. The history footprints. I don't know whether you feel me. For example, hizi masimu tunatumia kama Android. I really wanna know, Android ilianzaje? Na ilianzia nation gani? Like distribution ya Android ikoje? Ndio wa reach Kenya ama Africa or East Africa? Android wametake steps gani kwa marketing? Unacheki? For example, kama Apple, tunataka kujua who is the co-founder of Apple? Ilianza aje? Imeendelea aje? Distribution yao iko aje? Marketing yao iko aje? And many things. So I think the history footprints will all be about going back to time and doing the research deeply and in a good way. Unacheki? It's not only for entertainment but also for learning purposes. I don't know whether you feel me. For example, simu kama Nokia. I really want to know who is the founder of Nokia. Nokia ilianza aje? Ndio wa design hii simu yao, like au fanyaje? Distribution yao, marketing yao, like zile risks wao uchukua zikoje. I just believe all this information is found on social media and I can sit down, do the research and do a story called the history footprints. Kama maybe ni episode 6 the history footprints, how Nokia started, because they believe the stories online. For example, kuna kampuni za stima kama inaitwaje, Tronic. Yeah, Tronic, I think. Tunataka kujua hii kampuni ilianzaje, nani alianzisha, na mbona alianzisha. I don't know whether you feel me. Kuna mashule kubwa kubwa huku nje manze, kitu kama MKU or even JKU, okay, Jomo Kenyatta okay, kitu kama Maseno, unacheki University of Nairobi ilianza aje, ni legends wagani walikuwa pale hivyo, and many stories. So wase kama Wangari Maathai, like we know the story of her winning the Nobel Peace Prize, and I really wanna know, where was she born? Which history footprints did she left behind? So I think the history footprints is going to become a channel. It's going to become like a movement where people are going to come to the channel and listen to the stories, because I believe I have to do something that is long term. I have to do something that it's not going to end tomorrow. I don't know whether you feel me. I hope you feel me too. So the history footprints will all be about bringing these stories to life, and I believe we can do it. Yeah, I believe we can do it in a very good and better way. For example, mnajua story ya Kapenguria 6. I really wanna know, Kapenguria 6 walianza aje? Kina Bildad Kagia, Kungu Karumba, Achieng' Aneko, those people, how did they fight for independence? I really wanna know Jomo Kenyatta alipitia challenges gani kama president wa Kenya. Kuna story fulani nilisikia, kuna msemo mwenye alikuwa anataka kutake some part of Naivasha, and story ka hizo, a certain leader in, I don't know whether it's Uganda, you know, hata saizi siyuko sure, but I want to be sure. So I think I, as Josiah, my work is to bring the stories to reality, do my research, bring the stories to life. So I think this is the introduction part of the history footprints in this YouTube channel called the Saya Chronic. So your work is to subscribe and to stay live, because these stories are coming. I don't know how everything is gonna end, but I believe we can do something great and something big. I don't know whether you feel me. For example, somebody like Kobe Bryant, you know, I read a story somewhere that he died in an aeroplane crash, and I really wanna know his story deeply, you know. Somebody like Jose Mourinho, his coach was a legend. Somebody like Michael Arteta, you know, Zinedine Zidane, somebody like that. These coaches of the football industry. Somebody like Ronaldo. We wanna know when was he born, and what has he done differently. We want to understand the footprints of these legends. So I think that's what the history footprints is all about, and I'm committed to do this, because at the end of the day we have to do quality content, we have to do the research, we have to put in the work, and I'm committed to it. I just believe I'm going to upload this video on YouTube, and maybe one day I'll look back and say that was me back then. Maybe I'll be in the 12th season, you know, one season having 12 episodes, so that is 12 times 12, 144 stories, and it will be great, you know. So I'm here to keep going, to keep pushing, and to never give up. But the history footprints is something that I wanna do. I really wanna understand who is Trump. Trump is now the president of the United States of America. When was he born? He's been a leader there for some time. Then this leader called this leader who was elected with a lady as his deputy called, I think I forget his name. Let me remember. Alikuwa anaitwa President Biden, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. You wanna know how Trump made it there again for the second time? Okay, there's this kuna hii chama huko US inaitwa Republican. I don't know whether you feel me. You want to understand when was Republican started and many things like that. So I think the history footprints will all be about taking time to research the story, then bring it live on the show. So that's all I have for the episode, but the history footprints is something that I want to do, and I believe it's going to become something big, and it's going to become something better. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, because I just believe that this thing is going to become a movement, and maybe one day we'll have a team to work with. Thanks for watching. It's been real. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment there, and like the video. Peace.